Hello again folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Now today we're just going to show you how we field strip and clean our P320 XCarry Legion here by SIG. And again, there's 100 different ways to do it. This is just how we do it. It's not a white glove clean by any standard, and it's not a full disassembly either. It's just a quick field strip, clean and lube, right? So we do this normally after a good range day, or especially when we get a new pistol in. We'll do this before we take it out the first time. All right, so just for the guys who are new shooters to get into some good habits, we're gonna go through this real quick. So firstly, I'm wearing my blue gloves as usual, and that's just not to leave too many fingerprints on the firearm, because under these lights they're very much highlighted and it looks horrible on camera. There's no ammunition in the pistol, there's no ammunition around it, and all the directions we're going to be manipulating it in is cleared as safe. Alright guys, so let's get straight into it. So what we're going to use today is a microfiber cloth. We are also going to be using a polymer brush. This is from kind of a standard cleaning kit. We're going to be using some gun grease. In our case it's Tetra, but you can use whatever your favorite gun grease is. We're also going to be using our trusty break-free CLP. Now this stuff we've used on all of our firearms with no problems at all, and I'm aware that the US military has been using it for decades, so you can't go wrong there. And we are also going to be using a 9mm bore snake. Alright, so let's get straight to it. I'm going to be working around the camera, so forgive me if it's a bit awkward. So the first thing you want to do is you want to remove your thread protector here. Make sure you don't lose that, and it just unscrews like that. Now this pistol is actually clean, but we thought we'd show you how we do it anyway. Alright, so then we're going to be racking our slide back and locking it back, and then we're going to take our takedown lever here and we're going to rotate it down. Now all we're going to do is we're going to rack the slide, and it comes right off. Alright, next thing you're going to do is you're going to remove your recoil assembly by pushing it on the back and pulling it. And then we're just going to lift our barrel out, and there we go. That is a field stripped pistol for you. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some CLP down the barrel. And what we're going to do is we're going to just spray it directly in there. And we're going to leave it to one side because we're going to be working on some other stuff while the CLP does its job. Now CLP is clean, lube and protect, and what that's going to do, it's going to break down any carbon that's in the barrel right now. Simple as that. Alright, so next up we're going to go into the slide, and we're going to get some CLP in there. Give it a squirt there. And then we are going to take our polymer brush and we're going to give it a good scrub down. Try and get any carbon that you may see out of there. And there we go. Next we're going to take the recoil assembly, just give it a quick brush as well. There's still some CLP on this little brush. And next is going to be our grip module, and we're going to brush her down as well. Again, there's still some CLP on this brush, but if it's dirty, feel free to spray some CLP in there, not a problem. Now, you'll notice at the back there, where your trigger moves, you'll see that there's steel on steel. I like to put a little dab of oil in there, or actually CLP, again, it's a lubricant as well. And what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to leave it for 5 minutes so that the CLP can do its job, so it can break down any carbon that it can find inside your pistol. So we'll be back in 5. Alright guys, now that the CLP has had a chance to do its job, let's get back to our barrel. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 9mm bore snake, and we're going to take it through the back of the barrel here, same direction as a bullet would go. And we are going to pull it through a couple of times. Nice thing about these is they've got bristles, and it cleans it and polishes it pretty much as you pull it out. Now I don't know if you can see that on camera, but that's a pretty clean barrel right there. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. All right, folks, and next up we're going to use our microfiber cloth. And everywhere we put some CLP in the brushes, we're just going to give it a good wipe down. If you struggle getting into those nooks and crannies, what I do fairly often is I use the back of the brush to kind of push it down in there. All right, you can see there's still a lot of dirt on there that the CLP got rid of for us. So it wasn't as clean as I thought it was. I'm going to get our barrel, give that a wipe down. You want to concentrate on those feeding lips there, or feeding lip in this case, just in case there's any kind of debris or something in there. All right. So next up, guys, like I said, I like to put a little bit of oil, just a little droplet in there at the back where there's metal on metal. Just a tiny little bit, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a wipe in there. What I'm also going to do is on the top of my barrel here, where it's steel on steel, I'm going to give it a bit of CLP. Just a little bit like that, and I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to work it in like that. And then I'm going to put my barrel back. All right, now, before we put the recoil assembly back, make sure you orient it like this and not like that. Okay, let me show you what happens if you do it wrong. So I put my recoil assembly in with the wrong orientation, right? Now I'm going to put my slide back on the rails. Look at that, doesn't want to lock back. You see that? Now if we put it in the correct way, like that, so that the long end is up, as you can see over there. Hopefully you can see that. So with the long end up like that, now we shouldn't have any problems. We are gonna take some Tetra gun grease, or a gun grease of your choosing, and we are just gonna put a little bit of it on the rails here. Just a little bead on each part of the rail there. So we'll just put a little bead there and there. And what we're going to do is when we reassemble the slide and the grip module, we're going to make the gun do the work for us and work that grease in by just working the slide, right? All right, so remember we put the recoil assembly in the right way now. So now we shouldn't have any problems locking it back. And we just put our takedown lever back in its original position. We'll work in that gun grease a little bit, and let's do a function check. Perfect. Now remember to put your thread protector back. And the last thing I do is I take my little microfiber cloth, give the outside a bit of a wipe down, try and get rid of any excess oil or anything like that, and fingerprints. And there you go, guys. You have a clean SIG P320 XCarry Legion ready for your next range day. Guys, I hope you learned something new or you found this useful. If so, please leave us a thumbs up down below. Leave us a comment, let us know what you think. And hit that subscribe button on the next screen. It's going to look like a black bear badge. You all stay safe, and we'll see you next time.